Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. Welcome to another exciting episode of Newspaper Review on Black TV. My name is Odus Okpeyemi, and we are here at Ojuelegba Ojaya stand. You know how they do them. You know how it's always been done. Let me get my paper. I will be right back. Please stay tuned. All right, welcome back, beautiful people. Our very first paper we are starting off today is Daily Sun. As you can see, Daily Sun, and the very first headline is Killing Senate blows hot, wants service chief sack, raises 2020 budget to 10.805 trillion. COVID-19, 39.4 jobs likely to go this year. Oshibajo's committee. Flight won't resume on June 21, says FG. Edo direct primary court adjourned June 17. Real Madrid Academy takes off September. And at the very top of Daily Sun, EFCC begins Okorocha's probe. Return 6 billion to Imo State. So that's what we have on Daily Sun. Okay, our second paper for today is New Telegram. And the very first headline I can see, 39.4 million Nigerians to be jobless in 2020. That's the very first headline on News Telegram. COVID-19 isolation center run out of bed spaces. Millions to fall into poverty. Buhari seek recovery plan. Nigerian record 185 billion monthly revenue shortfall. And the very last headline I can see, Democracy Day. APC, PDP, Atiku, Tinubu, Lawal speak on June 12. Still on the News Telegram newspaper, Democracy Day. APC, PDP, Atiku, Tinubu, Lawal speak on June 12. That's all we have on News Telegram today. Let me get my reviewers. I will be right back.
Previously, I have not been in support, but as the situation is now, we don't have any improvements that is curbing the situation in that part of that region. So now I see that I cannot buy the opinion of the Senate now that the service chief needs to be changed, because when something is happening and we don't see that there is an improvement, and we see that instead of it to be reduced, we are seeing it increase. And you cannot be in a nation whereby security is the number one. A nation need to guarantee its people. But since insecurity has been the hallmark of the situation, then definitely I think I buttress with the Senate that the service chief needs to be sacked. And then let's us see what the new ones can do. Yes, definitely. You know, if you remember that the Sustainable Economic Committee, he heads that definitely. So he knew that this will be online. That is why, and they submit all the project to the president yesterday. And I believe the answer is in those things that they submit to the president, that for us to tackle that issue, that he knew that 39.4 million Nigerians will be jobless. Find the pandemic also has the situation that affects, you understand? Because if you look at it, every family, as far as this pandemic is concerned, we have 1 or 2, 3 people that it has affected. That some of them have lost their job. Some of them, they say, okay, if you can't take the deduction of salary, they cannot employ more and all that. So that's the answer of what needs to be done. Because I read a little part of the programs, it made us realize that vocational jobs need to be enhanced. You know, plumbering, carpentry, and all that. And then the small scale businesses, the loan need to be granted to them and all that, so that individuals can be able to be, and then the empower need to be given upliftment in order to.
Sorry, sir. Let me come in. When you said loan granted, in this particular country that we have, you know, there are some loans that are pointed to some category of people. Are these people actually getting the loan?
You see, that is where I always have problem with Nigeria. If government executes projects, the people in charge should carry. You see, when somebody told me, Donald Trump is doing well in America, I will say it's not just about Donald Trump. It's about the full citizen of America knowing the right thing to do at the right time. But here in this part of the world, when series of office is being delegated to some people, instead of them to do the right thing, all they want is how they be able to loot, how they be able to do things astray. But now, are we not saying that if the presidency now come with a project and they supply the duties to every place that is supposed to take on the situation, at the end of the day, those people now creating lapses, it will now bounce back to the presidency that they are not doing anything. But you can see what you just asked me now. Fine, loan this thing are there to grant loan. Government has funded all these banks and all that microfinance to grant loan to the people. Instead of them to do that, they now still be doing it to those who has already enriched their pockets. And it's not even ends there. Even the individuals being granted loan, are you using it for the purpose that it's meant for? You understand? Because I've seen some people that when they collect loan, before you know they started living large. They ignore what they get a loan. Because I used to see this local this is they call Lampo. You see people running skater running from them. You understand? After we started making this superstitious that the money they give to you, we haunt you thereafter, that money is not pure. But it's a lie to me, because I've seen some who have survived with it, while some, an individual woman in my place will go there and collect money instead of him to, or her rather, to use the money for what it meant for. Before you know, there is one ceremony, this is that is going to have burial, a birthday party, and all that. I started celebrating, using the money, squandering it. So everything concerning Nigeria, at least our orientation, our mentality needs to be changed. We need to know that this is the right thing for us. So we don't need Bible for this. We don't need Quran for this. It's all about us. Let us just change. Even the people that introduce religion to us, I think we practice it more than them right now. And before you see an average white man believe that this is the right thing for me to do and this is the wrong thing for me not to do. But here in this part of the world, we believe in wrong rather than doing the right thing.
It is not something that is strange. They are bound to lose their job because the internal generated revenue and the population cannot go side by side. The population has outgrown the internal generated revenue. Now the crude oil price has fallen in the international market. And when a country is dependent solely on one thing to boost the economy or to be the bone of the economy, this is things that we experience. In the past, we have some other things that give Nigerians income, money. Now we depend on oil alone. Now the oil price has fallen in the international market. Even to get buyers to buy the oil, the ones we have in the reserve is a problem. So it is not strange. The economy is now struggling all over the world, not only Nigeria, even in America, in China, and everywhere. The economy of various countries are struggling. And a country that depends on crude oil alone, this is the testing time. And we have to face the reality. You see, right from time I'm saying this, and I will say it again. This government was not prepared for leadership. They never prepared. They see opportunity to take over or hijack a government and rule. That is exactly what they are doing. When you come into power, the cry of Nigeria is corruption. There is too much corruption. There is too much corruption. We have a government, somebody like Yaradua, Umar Yaradua, that set up 7-point agenda, of which agriculture become the primary concern of that government. Jonathan came in, he rolled here and there, but at least there are some foundation on that path. he laid. This government come, you see, they just carry out propaganda. We are banding rice. We are doing this. We want to diversify the economy. You diversify the economy. What is the end product for somebody like Osinbajo to come and say that so number of people will go jobless? Why will he say so? What is your job in the Aso Rock? Why did Nigerians voted for you to be there? You are a professor. What solution have you profiled?
Before coming out to tell us the problem.
To say this, you might 39.6% people might lost their job, but this is what we have on ground to make sure that we curtail this. You understand? So that is why I said that they are not prepared, and they can never prepare for the remaining 3 years.
Some of the happenings now is linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. But if we look at it critically, Nigeria case in particular, it's far from being linked to COVID-19 because all along, Nigerians, we have got millions of jobless Nigerians in this country.
Sacking the service chiefs will not remedy the situation. They know the problem. They should follow the problem the way they are, where they come from. It's sacking. If they sack the service chiefs, will they sack Buhari?
You see, these Senates, they failed also. Because what earth are you blowing? What fire are you blowing? I don't know the fire you are blowing. What is the work of legislature? You make law, and there is what we call check and balance. In check and balance, the legislative arms have the power to check the executive arms, have the power to check the judiciary, and also the executive have the power to check the legislatures. That is the beauty of check and balance. Now, and a particular arms of government uses the executive carry out an act of retaining service chiefs that are not functioning if they are not part of the people that is orchestrating the insecurity of the nation. You cannot checkmate them. If you remember in the past, there was a time they were clamoring for removal of this changing of the service chiefs. You see, they know, the executive knows. Even the armed forces knew what is going on concerning insecurity in the country. Because some set of people are feeding very fast from insecurity. That is why we cannot end the story of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram has come to stay, and they will not go because there are people that are feeding facts. I expected the Senate, the legislative arms of government in Nigeria, to take a move to overhaul all the service chiefs, put people in place that can work. If possible, retire some of these senior staffs, senior army staffs, and bring in some junior ones to head the affair. It can work in that direction. If possible, why? Okay, let us look at it. Almost all the service chiefs are from the northern region.
80% of them. Let me even say 90%.
Are from the northern region. And these people that come from that region cannot curtail the insurgents in that region. They cannot be able to handle it. Let us look at it in this dimension. When insecurity level was high in the Niger Delta, the government looked around and said, okay, what can we do? Let us bring somebody that comes from that side to come and be part of the government. And when Jonathan paired with Yaradua, they make an arrangement to make sure that there is a lasting peace in the Niger Delta. They give them ammunition, and today we can now talk of peace in the Niger Delta. Now you bring in people that come from that region where the insecurity is very high, and this set of people cannot even curtail the insecurity in the country. What are you supposed to do? That old approach that was used during Yaradua time is not working. Then you look for another dimension. Bring in somebody from another region to come and help the affair. You understand? So that they can be able to, they can now say that, okay, I'm here to do my job. I'm not here to punish some set of people and put money in my pocket. So on the part of insecurity, the Senate has seen the problem. And there will still remain the problem of insecurity in Nigeria because they are the people that have the executive has compromised. That is what I will say. The executive are compromised. It is the duty of the Senate to checkmate the executives and make sure that they make changes in the cycle.
I'm not surprised at that. I'm not surprised because, like I said before, they failed to do what they're supposed to do. You see, if you come to this underbridge now, for instance, you see, most people here are jobless. Some are graduates. Most people here are graduates. Why can't they go back to the basics? Support. Okay, there are some youths here that are willing to do one or two things to make money. But because they don't have the capacity to raise that money, they don't have friends or families that can say, okay, don't worry, I will lift you up. I will give 1 million and I will give you 20,000 naira. Then you see them end up here. You see, most of them here feels this is my final place, but it is not. If the government should do something to help these people, help the youths, jobless or the job, because when you are not supported, that is when you begin to look for white collar job. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you are supported, government should give grants. This is what they do overseas. I don't believe in this government because they make promises they cannot be able to fulfill. Like they said, Buhari said they earmarked about how many million? 520 million, that about. That they want to feed their school children at home. But how many schools, how many children got the money or the food? If you count, like in Lagos, if you count those schools, they do not say private or primary or secondary or universities, they say our students, our school children. But some places they say it is primary school. So until say even if it is primary, it's from primary 1 to primary 3. So you see that all these things are not going around. Even the primary, so-called primary 1 to 3, they say they want to give. Not all schools collected. Not all parents, even in some schools they selected, collected. In a situation where you have 300 student pupils in the class, they give to 29 parents or to 29 children, as the case may be. You see, some people, I believe some people are sitting on these things. So the people that are supposed to get this are not getting it. How can federal government say want to feed our school children? Now some people say it is from some certain school.
Okay, sir. Let me cut you there. Since we are talking about siphoning money, so the last one, EFCC began Okorocha probes, return 6 billion to Imo State.
Yes, if that can happen, I will be happy because I'm from there. Okay. So if that happens, I'll be very, very, very happy. But my brother, you see, let us not deceive ourselves. They are only pouring water on a stone. You know that it cannot hold it. So all these things they are mimicking what the rich people does. They don't do anything. They said, okay, look at all those account with everything. How can they said he was jailed for how many years? I forgot, but under 2-3 months he's out. So what I say, who is fooling who? So it is better they don't even embark on this kind of probes that cannot yield result. Do you understand? People are suffering. If by like Okorocha you said, if EFCC can do the job and return that money to Imo, it's not saying we do it when nobody. They should be very open. If you are probing somebody, whatever you get, 1 million or 1 naira, let the people involved know. Let the state in question know that this thing will recover from your former governor, your former deputy senator. We are returning it to you. Make it public. That people will know. Outside people will even know that, look, true, these people are working. So if this can happen, you being in government tomorrow will know that if this can happen to this man, maybe it could be me tomorrow. Because they say if a king is not beheaded, others will not learn to keep their crown. Because they are under the same carcass. Now, brother, BU APC, BU PDP, they are under the same carcass. They know what they are doing. They're only deceiving us.
I said it in the past. APC government from fighting against corruption is a propaganda. It's just a main propaganda. If not, for the first place, somebody like Okorocha shouldn't have given a ticket of return to the Senate. Certificate of return to be a member of the Senate. I'm saying this, when a government, a governor go out of office, we should put a structure in place that we make sure that we screen this governor to the letter.
So before giving him any appointment or any ticket?
Any other appointments, not to talk of elective posts. You understand? Okorocha become, in Imo State, it become a terror for so long during his resume before he eventually rule 8 years and go out of office. Why did you not send the EFCC, if at all you want to fight corruption? Please help us screen this man, investigate this man leadership of 8 years before we give him tickets to run for a Senate. So it's not surprise. This is what I will call, as they normally say it before, party government. My statement will be justified by what Oshomola said, that if you commit any crime, come to APC, your sins are forgiven. This is not a government that is coming to fight corruption. I will not be surprised if Okorocha is being investigated or is returning 12 billion to Imo State government. Look at what is happening to Orji Jokalo.
Yes, that are the same thing.
Somebody that stole the state money. You arrested the person maybe due to one thing or the other political reason, I don't know. You send him to jail, and 6 months after you release him, say you pardon him. So where is the government that is fighting corruption? What legacy are you setting for people to know that after 8 years of Buhari government, this is what he did? He's jailed a former governor. You understand? So there's no precedent. This government is not fighting corruption, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, if you look at Nigerian kind of democracy, you will see that our type of democracy, I don't know where we got it from, but we are not practicing. Normally they told us when we are young that we bring our democracy from the United States of America. But if you look at democracy in Nigeria, it's not really democracy, because Okorocha is not the first case in such a situation. We have got many of them. Most of the governors, after ruling for 8 years, embezzling the state money, they run to the Senate because they want that immunity. There are many cases that is going to come on. The other day we were talking about Oyo State governor that he has not finished preparing his paper to probe Ajumobi. We have got many cases of many of the governors that rule for 8 years. They are in the Senate. So Okorocha case is not the first, neither is it going to be the last. But what we are asking, the question most Nigerians, me in particular, is asking, if somebody have ruled for 8 good years, what makes him to qualify again to say, I want to contest for Senate seat? Somebody like Amosu is there, as an example. Ajumobi is there. Nnamani of those days, they were senators. Exactly. Me as a person, I'm an APC man, but I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not disappointed with the man who is at the helm of Afia, but probably because of the kind of people he surrounds himself with. If he says he's fighting corruption, I don't think he can fight corruption, because corruption has eaten deep into the fabric of all sectors of Nigerians. The corruption has eaten deep into our bones, and it is in our blood system.
What is your take naming Democracy Day against Abiola?
You see, concerning that June 12th, see, they made a very big mistake of naming that June 12th a Democracy Day. You understand? They're supposed to name that day as Abiola Day. What they did in America, as they have Martin Luther Day, then Abraham Lincoln Day. You know, honoring Abiola, give him that day, so that upcoming generation growing up, they will know that Abiola's name, if they come to calendar, they check Abiola's day, they'll be asking questions. You know, they want to know the history of that. They start to know about history. You understand? Naming June 12th Democracy Day is very wrong. Although we have Democracy Day. Democracy Day is the day of transferring power from one government to another. So if you ask them in school, What's the meaning of June 12? They can't say it's Abiola Day. If anybody that say it's Abiola Day as Democracy Day, he will fail that exam woefully. Because Democracy Day is different to Abiola's name. So we should stop deceiving ourselves. That is from my own point of view. We should stop deceiving ourselves on playing politics on somebody's name. If you want to play politics, you play politics. Naming June 12 after Democracy Day is very wrong to me, totally wrong.
Thank you very much for staying tuned. I'm very sure you pick 1 or 2 points from our newspaper review today. Please follow us on all our social media handles at Black TV, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Black TV, BLACQ TV. You can join us here Monday, Friday at Ojuelegba Under Bridge or Jaya Stand. Till I come your way next time. Bye bye.